Hello, dear viewers. It's me, TK, your coach on the rocks. It's lovely to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'm looking forward to talking to you this time. Let me know if you're here. Give me a wave. Give me a thumbs up. Hopefully, you might even have a question for me. Let's interact. Today, I want to talk about conflicts. They do happen, and I think they're inevitable because the opposite of conflict is living and working in a thought bubble of an echo chamber. This is completely awful, and I think it will make your team, organization, business stagnate. And it's especially difficult for a small business like us, humble associates, that um, we constantly need to introduce new thoughts in and have new ideas because the market is always moving somewhere. We need to adapt. It's the essence of agility. So for us, it's just important to be mindful about not constantly agreeing with each other. That can be difficult because, socially we do want to get along, but it can't always be the case. It's just nigh impossible. I think whenever a disagreement happens and it can breed a conflict, what I personally do is, well, obviously it needs handling, it needs management, not in a bad sense, but I'm not even saying it needs resolution, but it's, I find it difficult just to leave it there. I find it difficult just to stay in conflict all the time. I feel an internal urge to somehow resolve it. And yes, you might say that OTK conflict can be healthy, you shouldn't forcefully be resolving it. That's fine, but it's also important that you have some sort of a peace of mind and ability to work together. So the way I do it is I have the basic two steps. Step number one is make sure that the participants of said conflict actually want to resolve it. Because what might happen is you might want to resolve it, but others are fine being in conflict, and whatever you do, whatever steps you take, it might be that they will always find a way to return to set conflict just for the sake of it. It might also be that you might not want to resolve it because for whatever reason. I personally think that's a bit toxic from either you or the other parties. But then again, what do I know? It's your life, right? Just making an observation that probably I wouldn't find it great being around you since, I do like to finally get the conflicts resolved. And I guess the second thing I do is to really isolate what is it that we're disagreeing about. What's the clue of our conflict? Because what happens sometimes is we get into the weeds, we get into the details, we start using a negotiation technique and disprove the points that others might have. Whether actually, it can be very simple to resolve it. We had, I'm not saying a conflict, but a disagreement today about something, and it's just like I said, if we are to put it in a number, what is the number you think we should go for? I'm not giving you all the details, but that's essentially. And the other person said 4, and I said, well, I think 4 is excessive, but we can end this by compromising and both agreeing on 3. And the other person said, okay, let's do 3. And I said, well, fine, that's done. Right? We don't need to go into minute details and back and forth. It's just a bit of a waste of time. We've agreed on number 3, and number 3 it is. I'm moved on past, okay, so let's implement 3, 1, 2, 3, what it would look like, and so on and so forth. There's just no need, right? But you can only do that if you have a genuine need and will to resolve the conflict. Second of all, which is the third point, you're genuinely considering the other person's point of view as valid. Because maybe it is. Maybe there's something behind the other person or people's point of view that you might want to consider because it can be very valuable. Right? And I understood the other person's point of view if they wanted 5. or or whatever, right? I believe this is excessive, but I understand why they wanted a bigger number. And, settling on three, I think, I'm reasonably happy. They're reasonably happy. Some people say it's like, a poison compromise. But sometimes, why would you spend the energy disagreeing if you can be reasonably happy with a simple negotiating tactic of going halfway? Yes, people say don't split the difference. Um, Sometimes there's just more important things to do. Hopefully, you're enjoying the day. You will have a great week. Tomorrow, we have the Agile 101 about scaling agility at 5 p.m. BST. Go to our Humble Associates profile. You should be able to see it. Sign up. It's going to be a great show. I'm actually developing it right now. And yeah, I've got some tasty bits for you. With that being said, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.